All right, climbers, we're gonna go over the steps to safely rappel. One thing you should know right at the front is rappelling is what leads to most deaths in climbing. And why is that? It's because you're completely reliant on your equipment. So being that you're completely reliant on equipment, I want you to be very meticulous about the steps you take, and at each point in those steps, that you're physically checking the equipment to see if it's actually functioning the way you were expecting it to function. Meaning that you don't just set it up and be like, all right, we're good. Like, you set it up and you check if you are good. So this is going to be in 3 different pieces. The first piece would be using the Prussik. The second piece is setting up the rappel device, and the third piece is detaching from the anchor. So first thing what you want to do is, here's my Prussik loop. Like, we've got the knot down at one end, like rest of the loop going there. I'll start on the part furthest away from the knot. I wrap it down the rope, and then I left a little loop at the top. I'm going to pass the knot through that loop. So moves back and forth nicely when I'm holding onto it under pressure, but it locks in. So, and again, like we don't want to guess that the equipment's working. We want to make certain it's working. So what I'll do is clip in, and always, anytime I put on the carabiner, I'm locking it. I slide this up, leaned in, see if it's working. It is, excellent. So that's my Prussik. Next thing I'm going to do is set up the blade device, or in fact, rappel device. The only difference between setting up the rappel device and using the blade device is the blade you only use one side. With rappelling, we're going to use both sides. So what I'll do is I'll pop the rope in the top the same way I would for a blade, but I'm putting it through both sides of the rope. And then I will put that rope in, and you've probably noticed that the carabiners typically are kind of pear-shaped like this, like fatter on one end, skinnier on the other. That's for rappelling. So if I flip this up like that, that way the rope doesn't get pinched down on the small side there. So I'm going to move this knot, and a lot of times it'll get stuck. The best way to unstick it is to sort of unwrap it a little bit, not move smoothly. I'll move that just to get out of the way to make sure, I want to make certain that the rappel device is working properly. So I'll pull that in, hold it down, and it's good. Excellent. So I can push this back up again. Now, if we were in an actual climbing situation, what I would be doing, I'd be hooked in to the anchor, into the wall here, by another bolt hanger that I'm hooked into right now. And I would check my system, meaning check the equipment, before I unclip from here. So I'll slide this up a little bit. Actually, one thing I'll do is clip that in to my leg loop, make it a little bit lower so that these two aren't bumping up against each other. You'll notice with the Prussik loop, the way to disengage it is to push on the top of it. So if they're too close together, it'll naturally push on the top against the blade device, and it won't be working. So I'll get that set up, hang back into it, see that the system's working, and then once I see that the system's working, then I feel safe to take that off. And I can clip it over on the side. If I've got like a little bit of extra room, I could tie it off or something, keep it out of the way. Cool. So again, there's 3 pieces to that. First, I did the what we typically do first last, just so I could demonstrate the other pieces, but I first should be clipped into the anchor. I'm secured there. Next, I could wrap my Prussik loop around, and I could do these in any order. Like wrap my Prussik loop around, and then set up the rappel device. I check the rappel device, and then I get unclipped from the anchor. And so with all y'all, you want to check in with Sam practice those skills before we go on our trip, and you'll be all set. Thank you.